grind. Hey, when you speak your mind, hey, you speak your mind. Shit, shout out, speak your mind. Hey, on your grind. Wait, when you speak your mind.
Are tuned into
Speak Your Mind 2.0 SYM Networks. Speak Your Mind.
we back. Hey, like he just said, we are back. Speak Your Mind 2.0. It's your boy Seth.
It's your boy Ty.
Hey man, got a lot to talk about.
Been
gone for a long time. Again, technical issues. Gotta love those misfortunes, but it's all good. We definitely about to have this video up on YouTube today. Well, not today, but
At the time of this recording.
Yes, but make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Go follow us on Instagram. Audio version is on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor, all that good stuff. And like, comment, share. Like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All right, so first topic of the day: these NBA playoffs.
Man.
Lord Jesus.
Okay, Ty.
It's been insane.
Do we want to start with our team first, or do you want to get into the Warriors?
Let's just give an overall take on the playoffs. I mean, we can do that, but let's just give our overall opinion. I don't know who's coming out of the East, because right now the Heat and the Celtics are literally an identical match for each other.
Basically,
it's like one team blows one team out. The next game, it's the same thing. Go to a different city. It's the same thing, back and forth. And it's like, and I told myself, like, Boston's going to win game 3. I mean, what was it? Or game 4, right?
Yeah, they just played game 4.
Yeah, so I already knew Boston was going to win that. But now my thing is this. Now with the setup being 2-2, 1-1-1, someone has to win 2 games.
Back to back
in order for a closeout game.
And on each other's courts. So, because I still have faith. Heat in 6. I've been preaching that.
I'm gonna say Heat in 7 because I just want to close out on our floor. I don't want to close out on Boston's floor.
I mean, we proved that we can win in Boston though. Because I'm looking at the longevity. Because like I said, the Warriors over there, they about to damn near at the time of this recording game was that game 5 for them. No, game 4 for them is tonight. And it's damn near looking like a goddamn sweep.
We're gonna get into that in a second.
But that's what I'm saying though, because if they sweep the Mavs, these niggas about to have rest up until June. I mean, granted, June is
literally 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah, but
at the time of this recording,
they're going to be chilling. They're going to be chilling for two full weeks while we're over here pushing for a game 7.
Slugfest right now.
Yeah, like Mike Wilbon just said. They're out there playing football. So
I mean, looking at the series, yeah, you might as well say it.
So it's like, again, this is going to go into my point with the Warriors. I feel like it's ending up to being a cakewalk for the Warriors to get that next chip.
And it's just like, I'm a Luka fan. I'm really not a big Dallas Mavericks fan, but it's like y'all have to at least get one game to avoid a sweep. If you get one game in, cool, but other than that, yeah, it's looking like the Warriors about to get a nice easy rest.
Reggie Bullock, or is it Bullock or Reggie Bullock or Michael or
Reggie Bullock?
Reggie Bullock.
Let's just say Bullock because I forgot his first name.
Bullock to 0 points in game 3.
God, and
he didn't score. He was 0 for 10 from the field. Like there's no help on the Mavs. Luka is definitely struggling. I mean, Luka is definitely the best player in the franchise.
He had to drop a 40-piece in order for them to still lose.
That's what I'm saying. So he needs help. I mean, granted, they're going to have to figure that out.
Like Spencer Dinwiddie is like, he has his moments, but it's not good enough. Honestly, I think the factor that I think we're not talking about is Tim Hardaway being out.
Yeah, that definitely that Tim Hardaway takes away from.
And honestly, too, I don't know why they let him go, but Trey Burke.
I mean, he's still there.
I haven't seen him been playing.
He don't get no PT though.
He needs to, like.
I mean, you also got to think he don't get since he don't get no PT. I mean, they shrink their roster down or their players down. So or their rotation down. That is what I was trying to get through. They shrink their rotation down. So I mean, not a lot of people are going to get that playing time besides your.
But I'm just saying, like, he's just another guard that can control the ball coming up the floor and set up everyone to get in their spots.
True, but I mean, like I said, you shrink your rotation down. I mean, it's not. he just doesn't have a lot of help on the offensive side, just besides Luka. I mean, he can do it all, but he really can't. So,
but overall, these playoffs are just crazy, especially in the East. But like Steph just says, it sounds like the Warriors about to either win tonight at this recording or win in 5.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. This was a shock to me that this was a potential offer for this particular coach, but he decided to stay.
Well, no, because they said this as soon as the Lakers were out, the season was over with, that they were trying to get Mr. Juwan Howard, that he was alluding to, from the Michigan Wolverines. Granted, Bron and Juwan have ties.
Yeah, they played each other for a little bit. Well, granted, Juwan really didn't play. He was like a player's coach.
Yeah.
So
he was down there with him down in Miami. So, and he's seen the success that he's having with the college kids. But again, I feel like in totality, what Juwan's doing at Michigan,
he needs to stay.
Yes, definitely needs to stay, and just he is the face of
Michigan basketball.
Exactly. I mean, he's
been the face of Michigan basketball since the Fab Five in the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like he's already been solidified. So I don't think it would make any sense for him to leave until. I mean, I will be okay until he gets that one. He needs a championship before.
I feel like a championship is in his destiny at Michigan. I believe it because besides from me being a Ohio State fan, I truly and deeply respect Michigan basketball, and not just saying that because I watched 30 for 30, but I actually met Juwan Howard back in 2013. So it was kind of cool to meet one of the members of the Fab Five during that time when I was down there. So
right,
yeah. So granted, still don't like Michigan, but I respect Michigan basketball.
Okay. But yeah, that was one. That was a little interesting tidbit. But hey, man, I'm just trying to figure out if we can pull this off, yo. I mean, do we need to get into the Warriors really just like having a cakewalk? Like, what does this do for the Warriors' legacy? Granted, we know that it's going to add to it, but do you think it's going to be more or less like Steph is going to be the foregone guy now? Like, are we putting him up there now?
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, because honestly, I really did not anticipate the Warriors winning the championship this year. But looking how they're playing and looking who they're going against, it's just like, is this really happening again? Like,
Granted, they said Otto Porter is out tonight
for Golden State.
Yes, for Golden State. But I mean, you have Jordan Poole. I mean, he's dropping 20s and 30s every other night. So it's like, are you really missing a whole lot from Otto Porter?
And not to mention Andrew Wiggins has been playing like the way he should have been playing
for years. Granted, he needed to grow up.
Yeah, right. He did, and
he definitely grew.
Playing in this system with Steph, Clay, and Draymond, having that leadership from all three of them, and then playing with Steve Kerr. Yeah, so his game has definitely elevated. So,
I mean, I don't know. I say more or less we definitely have to see what this does for the culture for the Warriors. I mean, they're ready
because what they win this would be what Steph's third or fourth.
I want to say. I think it would be his fourth.
So he'll be tied up with LeBron.
I could be wrong though. It could be his third, but
it's one of those two. Let's see. 2015, 2017, 2018, right? Yeah. Or was that Toronto?
Toronto won. That was 2019.
So yeah, he has three. So if they win the finals, it'll be his fourth.
So do we putting them up there?
You already know the debate gonna happen. So, but yeah, man, I don't know, man. I really did not anticipate the Warriors on making it to the finals, but I mean, we will see tonight at the time of this recording when they play the Warriors at 9 p.m. tonight.
I was about to say. So
I mean the Mavericks. My bad.
Do you think? Well, just to finalize, I mean, if we do make the finals, if our Miami Heat does win out, and we play the Warriors, do you think we have a chance? Do you think we just get...
The only reason we'll have a chance is because our defense is intense.
Yes, our defense is great. Oh, my goodness. That has been one of the biggest...
But we have to stay healthy. That's the only thing. Because I was so shocked we won, game three without Jimmy Butler. But then we got Kyle Lowry back. I'm like, wait, how does that work? How do we get Kyle Lowry back, but Jimmy Butler's out?
Because I've been noticing it's like we jump... Whoever jumps out to
a lead, it's coasting with that lead until the end.
Yeah, Because it's like everybody jumps out to like a big ass like 10-0 run in the first quarter. Like,
and again, I didn't have to watch the game to know Boston was going to win. But then when I seen the highlights, I'm like, yeah, see, this is why I didn't watch it, because it was bad. We was down by 30 in the second quarter.
Bro, the first quarter, like these niggas jumped out so quickly. I'm literally watching. I'm like, some of these shots are terrible.
But they're going in on Boston's end.
No, they had great shots.
We had terrible shots.
We had terrible shots. I was like, what is happening? I just seen Bam drop 31 and then
drop what, 20?
I don't remember what he had, but I'm just like, granted they got back Robin Williams, so that was someone that could stick with Bam in the middle. But I'm just like, bro, what happened from game 3? I said the third game. From game 3 to game 4, but you know,
I really don't know.
We'll figure it out though. We'll see what happens.
It is. Now, college football. Oh man, so look,
hey, man,
at this point, everyone kind of knows what's been going on in college football lately, but we got to give our SYM top, mindset on this. It's one thing when we kind of already established who's a GOAT of college football and coaches, and that's Nick Saban.
Facts.
But here's my thing: when your kingdom is being tested by someone that's in your division and in your conference.
Shoot, not even in your division,
but a former
in your lineage, basically, like
your coaching lineage.
Them. Yeah,
it becomes entertaining to finally see the real Nick Saban come out. And again, y'all already know the story, but we just gonna reiterate for you. So, in the 2022 class, Texas A&M has somehow miraculously landed the #1 recruiting class by signing not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 5-stars. Most of them on defense. And not to mention, too, they've recommitted a 2023 5-star DN who's now in the 2022 class, and he committed to Texas A&M. Now, he had Ohio State in this mix, but I just had a feeling he was going to go to A&M. Right. Now, again, with this NIL rule, name, image, and likeness, I thought the rule was giving a high school player status is how much he can get paid. Am I correct?
Correct.
But yet, once the floodgate opened with that, thanks to Lincoln Riley and
Caleb Williams
and Chip Kelly.
Oh, Chip Kelly, yeah.
So thanks to them.
No, was it Chip? Not Chip Kelly. Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly, right? My bad. But still, those two, once they literally opened up the floodgates for everything to happen, it was just like a tidal wave of just nonstop buffoonery. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that, I mean the boosters for every major college D1 program. I mean, money flooding coming in.
And I didn't even realize that they can pickpocket kids when they're even still on the roster for real.
That's insane.
They can throw money when you're still on the squad, and you're literally playing. To be honest, like, granted, the season hasn't started yet, so once the season starts, all that can be stopped. But like right now, you're still on the roster. You can get they throwing money. Like, I'm just like blasphemy. I'm just like, wow, you guys are really playing the claw game, and just
it don't make no sense. And you got to think, when Texas passed that law to pay high school players, it was a wrap. Because I don't care what state you live in, you are not touching Texas money for football.
No,
you're not touching that.
Texas is, I don't want to say the birthplace of football, but they hold football very highly.
It's a religion down there. It's like God and football. Basically, that's literally what it is. God, football, and oil. And transitioning into that, like, not too long ago, Nick Saban was holding a conference meeting with his boosters. Turn me down a little bit. Like, he was having a conference meeting with his boosters, and he pretty much was alluding to them, hey, can y'all dive deeper into y'all's pockets so we can get some of these recruits that A&M got? But then what he messed up on was that he used Jimbo, and out of nowhere, Deion Sanders as pawns to try to cover up what he's been doing for the past decade.
Right. I was about to say, in all honesty, the whole NIL thing has been a thing, but it hasn't just been out in the public. Teams like Alabama, I mean, let me just say it like this: all the Power 5 schools
have paid high school players to come play for them.
Facts.
Let's just keep it a buck. But to the extent of Alabama, every recruiting class y'all are in the top 3. Let alone the number 1 class.
They just have great like PR people, so none of that information gets out. So, but now
come
it's all
come
public.
on, man. It's like we're not stupid like Saban. There's no way you can land X amount of 5 stars every year and still land the number 1 class. Hence, how you be winning national championships every other year.
Basically,
But
every year,
right?
year.
But before we get into Jimbo's side, my thing is this: where was all this smoke when Georgia had the number 1 recruiting class?
I mean, did they? We don't really know. I mean, granted, they've been, I don't want to say low on the depth chart when it comes to recruiting classes, but I mean, they've done well to the point it's not like suspicious. So it's not like they've been like paying players. I don't think they've been paying players all like that.
You talking about Georgia?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say smoke should be coming their way.
I know, but I'm just saying though, like he had all the smoke for Jimbo for landing the top class, let alone all those 8 5-star defensive players that he got. Few of them were offense, but it was mostly defense.
Right.
And like I say, he flipped a 2023 recruit to come to 2022 with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that did because I'm like, bro, how are y'all getting all these players? I'm like, oh, it's Texas. Oh, so they paying them.
Right.
You know, but then of course, you know, Jimbo had to respond once Saban, you know, calling him out, and it's like he didn't say this, but this is what he was pretty much alluding to in his press conference. You really want me to expose you for all the shit you did when I was working with you? Do you really want me to do this, Nick? Because I will, and I will not give a fuck. That's basically what he was saying.
He was basically, yeah, you're right. He was basically routing them out. He's like, I've been in the inner circles. I've been there with you in the trenches, so I know how this stuff goes.
It's like you now all Saint Nick, like people, you know, make you out to be, and it's like, and he was speaking facts too, you know, because look, again, the fact that Alabama wins consistently, and of course they're gonna keep, you know, putting this false imagery that Nick Saban, you know, is like the god of football and shit like that, and it's like. No, because at the end of the day, he can be beat. Ohio State has proven that. Georgia has proven that. Clemson has proven that. A&M has proven that last year when they played. Right. Auburn has proven that from time to time. Like, he loses games. But, of course, when it comes to the big, you know, championship game, yes, he's going to show up. You know, and, of course, you know, when it comes to revenge games, he's known to, you know, get back at people that he lost to. But still, though, it's just like any coach with any program can be beat. That's just the bottom line. But Alabama for years has somehow know how to win consistently since 2008 when they finally first won a championship, or 2009,
right?
Because that was the start of it, you know. But just this whole back and forth thing with Jimbo and Nick Saban, it's entertaining and funny because it's like both of y'all pay players, especially again, Texas oil money is ridiculous. So
they got that just to throw away,
right? So Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I'm sorry, like. Y'all money is not touching them.
Right.
That and again, that's what Nick was saying to the boosters. Like, can y'all step your money game up so we can get these recruits?
To be honest, I don't know. It's just funny because you know that the rule is out in the public now. You know, we know we can pay players. So it's just funny to actually see their egos come out and be like, damn. Who's got it's basically like damn because like we're really seeing who's got the bigger pocketbooks.
Who got the bigger bag?
Yeah, basically.
But then too, this is where he also messed up on too. You try to call out Deion Sanders in Jackson State, like
because again, for what
we talking about it? We're talking about an HBCU versus Alabama. How does that compare to
anything?
Exactly. Like, come on now.
Like I heard like. Alone, Jackson State football, like the money that they bring into the school is the same amount of money that is going back out just to be put back into the money or put back into the sport. So it's not like even playing field at all.
And then it's like you want to call out Travis Hunter for not staying, you know, in a Power 5 school and then flipping to an HBCU school. and then you're gonna talk about Jackson State paid him $1 million to play for him, and I'm glad
They
Travis.
don't make $1 million. They only make 2.4. The number was $2.4 million. So they get $2.4 million coming in. That's revenue to them, but they have to put 2.4 back in just to be even. So it's like there's no.
It's a give and take.
Yeah, it's like compared to an Alabama that probably brings in like
Billions of dollars.
damn near bills, and I'm like, wow.
And
wow.
I'm glad Travis Turner came out and said this tweet. I got paid $1 million, but yet my mom is living in a household with 3 kids. Was living in a household with 3 kids.
Yeah. Show me where the millions at.
Exactly. It's just like, dude, really? Like, you are really trying that hard to deflect the fact that you could potentially be exposed from all the, secretive paying player money
Under
that
the table.
Exactly, that you've done in the past. Because, again, I be really looking at these recruiting final rankings, and it's just like, bro, how do y'all still manage to end up number one? Because there's been so many years where Ohio State can have easily had the number one class, but yet, here comes Alabama just straight steamrolling with recruits, and it's just like, how are y'all doing this? But it's like, and it's like, I know y'all paying people to play for y'all. Think about it. You had Tua Tagovailoa's family move from Hawaii to come play for you. You cannot tell me you didn't pay his family to come to Alabama.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Hey, don't act like y'all don't be paying players too.
I'm not saying that, but again, we not doing it to the level of Alabama's level. Come on now.
Y'all be just giving them. Y'all just be telling them go to right car and go get you that Corvette. We'll hook you up with the Corvette.
I mean, but still though, man. But like I said, this has been going on for decades with Alabama. Like, it don't make no sense.
Right.
And now that someone else other than Saban has had a historic, recruiting class, you don't like it. And low key, the players that committed to A&M, you probably wanted, but they probably was telling you like, what do you offer me? Because A&M offered me this.
Right.
And then Jimbo came out not too long ago again and said that, out of all the 8 5-star players that he got committed to him, he said only one person has an NIL deal. I don't care.
Big cap.
They still got money from boosters.
Big cap.
Like, come on now.
Yeah,
So all I can say is this: October 8th will probably be the most watched college football game this upcoming season.
I could definitely agree with that.
And also too, on a side note too, it's
just to see them get that handshake off. I want to see them.
I don't think the handshake gonna happen.
Yeah, the handshake definitely not going to happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Maybe they might. I mean, do you think they're going to walk to the middle of the field?
We gonna see. But I will say this though: it would be petty as hell if they get a penalty for not shaking hands.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
On both coaches, like, really.
I'm weak.
But also too, on a side note, to wrap that up, I just saw that a former Texas A&M recruit, QB, has now flipped his recruiting to Alabama.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just like, wow. In the midst of all of this, Alabama took an A&M player.
So where's that playbook at? You said you got it. Moving to NFL though. How do you feel about the draft? The draft has passed. Everybody's made their moves. OTAs are kicking off. What else?
Rookies signing their contracts.
Yeah, rookies signing their deals. How do you feel about? I'll ask you a twofold question. How do you feel about your Atlanta Falcons and what they did, and then how do you feel about all the Ohio State players that got drafted, and how do you feel about where they landed?
Well, I'm gonna start with Ohio State first. But I'm not gonna lie though, like. To me, the best team that had that kind of like stood out in the draft was the Jets.
Mm-hmm. The Jets definitely
stepped their game up a lot.
Now the question is, can they produce? Granted, who am I? I'm trying to think like who they compare to, like building up in the draft. Could we say like the Chiefs almost? How they built their team up?
I don't know. I honestly can't get my opinion on that. I'm being honest, because it's the Jets.
Granted, I get you that. But I'm just comparing to the standpoint of like, the Chiefs built their team up throughout the draft, and you see how everybody turned out and how successful and how high powered they are.
I mean, because honestly, like, look, let's just keep it a buck. They started off with Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati.
Right, great pickup.
That was a great pickup. Then you followed that up with Garrett Wilson. In my opinion, was the best overall wide receiver in the class. Even if Jameis Williamson doesn't get hurt, I still would pick Garrett Wilson over him anytime, any day, because he's a once in a generation lifetime, wide receiver that you just cannot pass up on as a first wide receiver taken off the board. Now, granted, Drake London was, but we ain't gonna get to that in a minute. But so I was happy they got him, and then they messed around and got Jermaine Johnson from Florida State, who was a beast on the field at the end. So, and then of course they also got another bug guy in Jeremy Rucker, who's from Jersey. So that's like a kid coming, staying home and coming home and playing for the Jets. So that adds, more to it too. So, but
that's pressure though. So
yeah, it is pressure.
Being the hometown kid.
Yeah, it is pressure, but he's not, the focal star of the team.
Facts.
So it's not too much pressure on him. But
yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah, but no, just seeing how they turned out with that draft class, I'm like, okay, I see what y'all doing. My thing is,
can it turn into wins?
Exactly, and can now what's his name, Mac Wilson,
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Now he has a great target to throw to, and I don't know who else at wide receiver do they have already on the roster.
I don't remember as of right now.
Right,
but no, okay, so I'll put it like this. I'll give you a better example. The Bengals. The Bengals are definitely building.
Okay, now I can see the comparison with them and the Bengals.
Yes, because they're building through the draft, and they had such a high success early on within the first 2 years of getting their first 2 years of getting their
made it to the Super Bowl in Chase's rookie year.
So do you think we're going to expect something like that?
No.
Okay.
I'll just say, if the Jets can get above a 500 record,
yes,
then that can be the start.
We definitely want to see them get a above 500 record.
And
with the amount of talent that they got, they definitely should aim for at least 8 wins.
8 or 9, I'll give or take 8 or 9. But
6 is the minimum.
Right. But besides the draft, just the trade deadline stuff, and people moving to different places and new locations.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. The team that I think can really make noise if they just play to what they have on their roster,
The Saints.
is the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they got Jameis back. They brought Jameis back. So.
Exactly. So you have your QB, you have your running back.
Granted, they have to figure out can Jameis and the new head coach get along? Can the
O-line protect them?
Can the O-line protect? There's still other factors. They definitely have.
But
great
on
talent.
paper.
But yes, you're right. On paper,
because that offense is going to be explosive. Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry,
right,
and Chris Olave.
Mm-hmm. And then defense, they added Tyrann Mathieu.
You got two players from LSU coming back home and playing in their home city.
And they talking about trying to get Odell too.
Honestly, that's pushing too much.
You think so?
That's doing too much. You just picked up Olave, who just signed his contract deal, and I think it's guaranteed. And you just got Jarvis Landry, who I'm glad is finally out of Cleveland, because his career was going to die in Cleveland, because it's a shit show right now with them.
Yeah. Granted, that would have been a good connection, I think, if Deshaun and Landry got a chance. But
it would have, but again, just the way
it just wasn't formatted right. You're right.
Exactly, it wasn't formatted for him. And the Saints, it kind of is. And again, he's back home in New Orleans, so It's like, hey, I'm back home, so screw, I can ball out and everything else. But now, looking how the Saints got their team together and what they got in the draft, they can do some damage.
Right.
But again, like we just said, can Jameis stay healthy? Can that O-line protect him? And can him and the head coach get along? If all that can, go smoothly, watch out for the Saints.
And also, I don't want to bring too much light, but watch out for the Eagles too. The Eagles did a nice.
That is a slept-on team.
The Eagles definitely did make some moves, adding AJ Brown from that trade. So put the Eagles on notice as well. But the main thing I want to say is my Steelers. There's many ways I can attack this right now. We'll get into Dwayne Haskins in a little bit as well. But overall in the draft, we got Kenny Pickett, great pickup. He was one of the top quarterbacks in the draft class.
I said y'all was gonna get him.
But also adding Mitchell Trubisky. My only pitfall is we did not draft any offensive linemen. What the hell what made us not think of that? Why were we trying to get people in the offseason or trade deadline wise? I just don't understand, because I definitely haven't seen a whole lot coming from that way. I only seen one, one person being talked about. But that was my big question.
Your big head scratcher.
Yeah, my biggest head scratcher. Why didn't we go out for any of these offensive linemen? Because the draft had a plethora of them. So I was just very confused on that point. But I digress with that. We'll definitely have to see what they got. Taking aside how Ty was just talking about Ohio State, Michigan players that got drafted, we see Aiden Hutchinson go to the Detroit Lions. Granted, I just pray that his career does not smither away in Detroit. But, it's good to see that he got drafted by the Lions and, hometown kid again.
Right. Ojabu going to the Ravens, which I think is a great fit for him.
That was a great slept-on pick. Grant, because with him tearing his Achilles during his pro day, the Ravens definitely took a chance, and he fits that organization just perfectly in my opinion.
Because John is going to get anybody from Michigan, honestly, that fits his style of play. I mean, same thing with Ohio State.
You see the pipeline, so I mean,
he has two pipelines, Michigan and Ohio State. Like, how does that work?
I don't know, but I definitely feel like that was a good pick.
Yeah, because when I seen him, I'm like, oh, he gonna thrive in that defense.
Mm-hmm. And was it Daxton Hill went to Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's right, he did.
I feel like that was a good pickup too, also for both sides because the Bengals needed help in the secondary after what we just seen in the Super Bowl.
Eli Apple with your trash ass coverage.
That's your man's.
Again, how did he go number 10?
That's your man's. But yeah, he went to the Cincinnati Bengals, and then Hassan Haskins went to the Tennessee Titans in round number 4. People were trying to sleep on him and say he was going in the 7th round, but
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, put some respect on his name. All I gotta say. But I felt like we definitely had a good year in the draft.
I feel like both teams had good years in the draft.
Marquee names went to marquee teams, and we definitely
now. Granted, now I will say this though. I was kind of upset that my Falcons end up taking Drake London first as the first wide receiver off the board because I really kind of did want Garrett in Atlanta, but I mean they said the Jets was a good fit for him, and long and behold it did. But I think everyone got Chris Olave right going to the Saints.
Right. Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like that was a pronounced thing that was coming out.
Yeah. But also, too, like you just kind of alluded to earlier with Dwayne Haskins. So we all know a few months ago, Dwayne Haskins tragically passed away at the age of 24 on the Florida highway.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But now recently we just found out that the toxicology report came out, and apparently he was drunk.
That hurts me, bro.
Exactly,
it makes me mad and it hurts me at the same time. It's like, one,
you was with Claypool and Najee like the day before training, and of course no one knows what you do like once you go back to your room or whatever.
Right.
And apparently, again, I'm just speculating. Like I don't know this for sure, but it sounded like he had some drinks.
He went to. Excuse me. I apologize.
Had to get that yawn out.
Yeah, that was in there. But no, he was with a female friend, quote unquote, and they went to a club or a bar. They left the club or bar, and early in the morning, late last night, ran out of gas. I mean that makes more sense now. I mean, you drive in trying to get out of the club quickly. You probably went to the club thinking like you got enough gas. Then you get drunk.
But did it say he was actually drunk when he was driving?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if he had alcohol already in his
system,
so he was
already drinking while driving.
Yeah, probably. So it just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, like I said, it hits harder because again, he's literally our age, and he died so suddenly, so randomly. But then you hear the toxicology report, it's like, dang, man, like.
And also, he had so much about to happen for him too, in my opinion. Like
I legit said he was going to be low key the starter, even with y'all getting Trubisky as y'all QB. I really feel like he was going to be the starter.
He could have been, yeah. He definitely could have had the chance, and he had the upper leg because he's
been in that system for what, a good year and a half or two.
Mm-hmm. And now we're left with fucking trash ass Mason Rudolph, bro. I'm like, golly, bro.
The same dude, Myles Garrett, almost took his head off with the helmet.
I'm just like, man, that quarterback room is just. I mean, it's cool, But it's just like, man, it could have been.
It
It
could
could have
have
It could have looked a lot better.
with Dwayne as a starter. Yes,
It could.
I definitely.
Even with him being second string or third, yeah, probably second string because he would probably be battling out with Mitch more or less. But being being second string behind Mitch, that's a better fit than having Mason, Pickett than Mitchell in the quarterback room. That just sounds a lot better to me. But.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, still recipes to Dwayne Haskins, man, gone too soon. But it's just like, man, y'all just gotta be smart out here when it comes to driving and drinking, man. Just like if you feel like you too drunk, man, call a Uber or call one of your homies up or friends up and be like, yo,
somebody,
I messed up, come get me.
And then I feel like that just goes back to like him trying to, when you lit, you trying to impress and you trying to do other stuff.
But he's married though.
Why was he with it? I don't know. I mean, I might be reaching. I'm definitely reaching.
We don't know. We just
know.
giving our own opinion and speculating, but we don't know because we wasn't there.
You're right.
The only people that can say anything is really Claypool and Najee because they was with him and other people that was down in Florida when they were training. So, but at the end of the day, man, still RIP to Dwayne Haskins, man. But just be smart out here on the road when it comes to driving and drinking, man. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Oh, quick sidebar. Like I said earlier, voluntary OTAs have started. Everybody's kind of funneling in, getting ready for mini camp and stuff like that. But the big news so far, coming out of OTAs and everything, Kyler Murray and Deebo Samuels. How do we feel about them both holding out and wanting more money or wanting trades?
I can understand Deebo's point of view. It's just more so the fact I can understand both point of views, cause especially in Arizona, because it's like they have so many opportunities to really do something in the playoffs, let alone in the season. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they didn't, it's just like, okay, what's going on? Is it a management thing? Is it just miscommunication between Kyler and the head coach?
Do you feel like because he's more or less asking for more money? He's seeing the market and seeing where everybody's
seeing all these QBs getting paid all this money.
Getting all this money. So he's wanting, and he's about to be at his end of his rookie deal. So how do you feel about him trying to weasel in that kind of talking right now?
I mean, y'all drive him to be the face, pay the face.
Hey, I feel it though. I mean, but he didn't. The backlash is you went 7-0, right? But you fell apart
toward the end.
Yeah, back half. So do you feel like do you feel like the money is still warranted if you fell off like that?
I just feel like we'll find out more about that as more stories come out or more information comes out with the Cardinals. Now, Deebo, he flat out said, trade me.
I mean, but again, the argument is the offensive play style of both sides, like with Kyle Shanahan's play calling and then Deebo Samuel's play style, they're very complementary. So do you feel like if one is without each other, do you think it's going to fall off, or do you think Deebo can be that guy anywhere else?
I feel like he can be that guy anywhere else.
So he's definitely
because coaches will adjust to his play style to make him a versatile player in the offense.
I gotcha. Hey, I feel it too. I feel like if you want your worth, go find your worth. Go get it. So
yeah,
that's all I got on that.
Right now, pop culture. There is a lot to get into, but we just kind of gonna
skim through this.
Yeah, skim through it. Just pick out some of the stuff that's a good topic to talk about. Now,
first, let me say rest in peace to Kevin Samuels and Lil Keed. We lost both of them over the course of these past few weeks. It's very sad. We lost Kevin Samuels to a heart attack, and we lost Lil Keed to liver failure. So, just want to say
rest in peace to both of them.
But go ahead, though.
Now, so there's a lot to talk about. Now, I'm not gonna lie. There's one specific topic that I want to get into real quick, and that's Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. Now, how long has this been going on? For like about 3.5 years?
I'll probably say 2.5. Yeah.
Okay, so again, y'all know the story. Y'all know what happened. Megan and Tory was low-key dating on the low. They were at a party. Things went left. Shots were fired. Megan accordingly gets shots. Quotes around get shots.
Mm-hmm.
And then that led to her and Tory going back and forth. And then eventually, I guess Tory in his court dates was told that he cannot say nothing about this case to anybody.
Basically.
But yeah, here comes Miss Megan Thee Stallion on the Gail Kim show and just straight lying her fat ass off.
She was saving face, Ty. I keep on telling you, she was saving face.
Saving face for what? You lied.
Cause she was saving face because of the lie. She was doing damage control.
The damage control still didn't help because then literally after she did the Gail King show, what happened? A doctor came out and said she was never shot. She stepped on glass. That's why she had that boot on her foot. Because it made no sense. How do you get shot, but yet like a few weeks later you're on stage twerking?
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
She was already deep in the hole, so she still had the same face. But
then this is one thing that kills me. When Gail King asked her, "Were y'all sexually active?" She said, "You mean sexual?"
That's
no,
what
nigga.
Active means.
Like, come on, like, and that's the thing I hate when you gotta lie on someone's name about if y'all had intimacy with each other. Like, come on now, you know y'all had sex. Granted, that nigga is a midget compared to you, but in the bedroom, y'all evenly on an even playing field.
Hey, man. It's tough, man.
It don't make no sense.
It's more or less. I'm saying it's more or less tough for Tory Lanez, bro. Because I rock with Tory, and during this whole thing, I was like, bro, just how his career took a hit, bro. That is crazy. But we should be looking at Tory Lanez right now like this nigga is the fucking man.
But it's like that goes to show you how much masculine women toxicity is out there, man. Because like besides again, Megan is a beautiful woman. Like I'm not going front. She is cold, but she is too damn masculine and toxic at the same time. You mix that in with being around Tory, of course she's gonna be looked at in the public view as, oh, she did not, like, no, she did a lot of wrong. Like, why would you lie on this man?
That's how Houston talk right there.
And it's just like, and then you set him up to like you just said, make his career take a hit while you are thriving in your career and in your relationship now. Like how does that work?
I don't get it. Because I said it back in was it 2019, 2020 when he dropped that Playboy album. And both those, was it Playboy? He dropped both Playboy and Daystar back to back. Them shits were fire. Like he should have been Grammy nominated when those came out. I was like, bro, and I was right in the midst of the whole feud. I'm just like, bro, that is so tough.
It just don't make no sense. The fact like a woman can do wrong in the situation that she's in, but still get praise about it. Like, how does that work, man?
But now you see he's out here moving. Granted, he's not getting the big social media push and everything, but you still feel his presence. Like he's still popping out here. So
yeah. But it's just like the fact like we all knew Megan was lying, but then you made it even worse by going on Gail King's show, who Loki likes to make black men look sad.
Right.
So you was already done for by agreeing to do this interview. And then you did more lying in the interview. Yeah. And then you really got exposed, like I said, when that doctor came out and said, oh, yeah, she didn't get shot. She just stepped on glass.
That shit is wild.
It don't make no sense, man. And also, too, shout out to Mr. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna for welcoming their new baby boy into the world. So, congrats to y'all.
Granted, it's crazy because the picture shouldn't even came out showing what the baby looked like yet. Because Rihanna had everybody clear out the whole floor of the hospital that she was on. But somehow, paparazzi finds a way to snap a shot and invade people's privacy. But, that the picture that's out was not even supposed to be
I don't think I even seen the picture, but...
I seen the picture.
But I believe you, though. Yeah. I haven't seen it.
There's a picture out there, but it's not... That, in my opinion, it was not cool. But, what else was I about to say?
Oh, Thug and Gunna.
Hold on. I want to ask about Kendrick real quick.
Okay. By the way, go and keep running the views up on our reaction to the 6 songs we did off his album. We are almost at 100 views, so
big facts. What was I about to say? Okay, Kendrick. People are saying that it's a flop. His album numbers or album sales or stream numbers, whatever you want to classify it as, are not
typical Kendrick numbers.
I wouldn't say typical, but the predictions or projections of what he was supposed to do not match up with what he has produced so far. I think first week numbers have come out. He's at 285 or 295, something like that. But people were projecting that he was doing like 500K and up. But do you feel, in my opinion, I don't feel like it was a flop because I still was looking at the album from a standpoint of lyrics were still there, bars were still there.
Storytelling was there.
Storytelling was still there. I guess people are saying that it doesn't have a lot of replay value. Granted, I mean, in my opinion, there are some songs that I wouldn't replay like I'm bumping on a daily basis, but because I'll say, for example, the We Cry Together song, I'm not going to play that on a daily basis, no. But definitely are some songs on there that are replayable. I feel like N95.
N95, Savior,
Mr. Morale.
Morales.
Yeah,
Mr. Morale.
There's a lot. There's a lot of songs, in my opinion, that have a lot of replay value. But I don't know. I mean, people are saying that it's his worst album.
His what?
Yeah, people are saying that is his worst album. I'm like, how?
It's like I'm not being biased because I'm a Kendrick fan, but it's just more to the fact like we waited for so long for him to drop an album, and again, like I'm kind of on the side with you. I'm listening to the actual, message behind the album.
Why were you gone for 5 years?
And he explained that.
Yeah. So it's like,
So it's like if y'all choosing quality over quantity, then that's a y'all problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knew what he was doing. He knew what he wanted to rap about. He knew what angle and stories he wanted to tell.
And if you're not looking for that, I mean, you're not.
I don't know what to tell you, but
you're not looking for that.
Because I guarantee you put Kendrick against any other rapper out here that don't be talking about shit, he is going to murder them.
To be honest. But I don't agree that he flopped, in my opinion. Granted,
No, it was, to me it wasn't a flop either. I'm being honest. It was not a flop.
Granted, the numbers might not be what we were projecting, but
it wasn't a flop.
No.
Production on this was tremendous. Again, the stories being told, the lyrics, like come on, man, like this is Kendrick we're talking about. You know he's gonna come with everything.
And it was just a different outlook. He let us in
to what was going on with him.
So
because again, what artist can go through 2 years with writer's block? That's insane.
Yeah, 2 years. I mean, shit, it don't take Cole that long to put out a project. I mean, we get Cole projects every 2 years, every other year.
Right.
That.
But speaking of Mr. Jermaine Cole, he is now joining a Canadian basketball league this time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to actually play, or is this?
I think he's going to play. Because I think him doing that African League.
Yeah, that was promotional.
That was promotional, but at the same time, too, it's kind of like both sides. Like, it was promotional, around the time he was dropping the album, but at the same time, too, it brought exposure to that basketball league, too.
Right.
So it's kind of like a win-win. Hey, I got promotion from my album. Y'all got, media attention with me being in this league.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like everyone kind of won in that. In a retrospect, but like now him going to this Canadian league, I feel like okay.
What you think he averaging?
I'll say a good 10 piece.
I give him 10. I say 12 and 5. I give him 12 and 5.
12 and 5.
12 and 5.
12 and 5. I got you. Now, there's other stuff we can get on. We can get into real quick, but it's kind of like false stuff because. People was getting mad, kind of looking into what's going on with the Migos, and it's more to the fact like, bro, they family. At the end of the day, they can't not be around each other because they family.
Yeah, I don't think they're breaking up.
They're not breaking up.
I feel like this was already like a planned thing. Takeoff and Quavo had a song together already. Offset probably had some other shit going on, so
yeah. So like, I wasn't really buying into the whole is Migos breaking up. Like,
who left off me Bamboozling? Who let me off Bamboozling?
Like, come on now, y'all. Like, again, they're family at the end of the day. So it's like, even if they break up as a group, they're not breaking up as a family.
But it still raised questions. Granted, Offset probably was just playing into it, but the unfollow was a little head scratcher, I guess. But
yeah, it is what it is. But now. On to TV shows that are finally wrapped up. Now, these two particular shows, I mean, I'm not going to lie, they season finales went out with a bang. And I'm talking about All-American and All-American Homecoming. Now, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it yet, I don't care. You should have watched it, but you can go ahead and watch it on Hulu once the stuff comes out. And on Netflix, too. Now, let me start off with All-American. This is about to be an intense season 5 or season 6 this upcoming season because how they let it off. So the previous episode last Monday, It was a Halloween. It was a Halloween episode because it's around homecoming, and so pretty much JJ from All American had everyone pull up to the Baker House in Beverly Hills for like this murder mystery game night and Halloween night, pretty much. And he was just kind of, the overall thing was that he was kind of like exposing the fact, like, we're all moving in our own different paths, directions, and it's like he's seeing the fallout between all the friends in the what they call it, the vortex, because they are low key a vortex, and I'm gonna explain to that in a minute. So pretty much he just was talking about like y'all he was saying like because I guess his character was the person that got killed, but he was saying the friendship is what killed him. I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that was going on, but then at the same time too, typical Spencer and Asher, they was going at it because granted Asher can't play football no more thanks to steroids,
Right.
but
so
now
the steroids actually like internally hurt him.
yeah, because it messed up his heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it messed up his heart. That's why he can't play football no more.
Shaking my damn head.
Right, but but besides that though, his former high school coach, her husband is I guess the head coach at his favorite college, Coastal California. So they said, we're gonna put you on our coaching staff, and apparently him and JJ go to Coastal California while Spencer and Jordan, they go to Golden Angela University, and apparently they're rivals. So upcoming homecoming week, the head coach for Asher and JJ's team told him to scout Spencer, and Spencer found out about it, and he didn't like it, and then he had to kind of
hold on, time out. Why? Because that don't mean. I mean, granted, yes, we're friends, but I'm still doing my job.
And that's what Asher was saying. Like, I'm doing my job. Like, I can't not do my job because we homies. It's like,
you are not. Okay, continue. Go ahead.
But again, toward the end of the episode before last week's episode, Spencer came back to the crib and said, I understand, you got to do your job. But Spencer did make a good point too. We can't we can't be friends after going into homecoming. And that's respectable. Because it's like, I'm playing against you.
Right.
Like, you're our rival. I don't want to be all kiki ha ha knowing that.
I mean, we could still be friends. We just, in my opinion, we just want to have communication.
Well,
I'll just talk to you later.
Well, that's another thing too. Spencer said we need to keep distance between all four of us. But of course, Jordan, he's like, nope, keep me out of it. I'm cool. But Spencer was trying to keep distance from Asher, and Asher was kind of like on that same bullshit tip. But going into last week's episode at this Halloween party, I guess like Spencer and Asher got paired up or some shit like that, and they said this is like talking to your future self in the next 10 years. And apparently on one of the cards, Asher asks Spencer to come play for him, and I guess on the NFL team that Asher is coaching or something like that. I don't know. But then it got deep. It went left real quick, because this is what I think should have happened seasons ago. This conversation, because it brought up old jealousy that was still kind of brewing inside of both of them, as far as like Spencer's transferring to Beverly, took Asher's spot, took his girls twice, and just pretty much Asher was like, look, it's like, I'm the villain and you're the hero. And it's like, and then on Spencer's end, it's like, first of all, I didn't have to take your girls if you didn't cheat on one and then call the other one a hoe at homecoming in high school. And then the second thing was, nigga, I'm just better than you.
Your mama's a hoe.
Literally, his mom was a prostitute. We can get into that. But
that is right. That is right.
Right, but that's basically what it was, though, man. Like, Spencer was an overall better player than Asher. Because literally, if you really think about it, after Spencer went back to Crenshaw in season 3, Asher became Spencer, because once the new head coach came to Beverly, she told him, "Hey, I want you on defense." Wait, what?
I just want to sidebar real quick.
Yeah,
we're really, Lord have mercy. We're really, Sports Center's really reporting on helium shortage for Nebraska, because their tradition is, I think it's like after a touchdown or at the start of the game,
something like that, where they shoot up the balloons.
Yeah, they let go of all the balloons and stuff.
A shortage of helium. I have never heard of that, and I know people in Lincoln are heated
Lord have mercy.
How much you want to bet they gonna bring red balloons to the stadium like fans are, and then just
just still let them go. I mean,
like I don't know, but back to what we was talking about too.
That's just wild. Go ahead.
But yeah, just yeah. So basically, that what was going on in the last episode too. And bruh, I kept telling you they were setting up Jordan and Layla to be together.
Mm-hmm.
I told you this, man, and it's finally happening. So again, going into the previous episode before the last episode, Simone, Jordan's fiance, quote unquote, she came back to LA to visit and to see everybody because she's down in Brinkston doing her thing, but she can even see that Jordan and Layla are low key closer than what they were before she left.
Right.
And in the 2 episodes before season finale, they pretty much broke up, which again I saw it happening because again, y'all basically were still being together because of what Simone did, because she told Jordan that she was pregnant with his baby, but it wasn't his. So I think out of what's the word? Not guilt, but like
empathy.
Yeah, something like that. Jordan decided to stay with Simone, and then later end up, marrying her when they were in Vegas. Well, she was so pregnant, but still, it was a bad stay together relationship at the end of the day because like
it didn't work. No, they both weren't in it, and they were both
it's like they stuck with each other because I guess that was I don't know. I can't explain it, but overall though, like she can kind of see them having something together because at the same time too, on All American when they had their the homecoming episode going into All American Homecoming, Jordan can already kind of sense that Damon was a threat to him with him talking to Simone, which was evident, and then Jordan, of course, when Jordan visited Brinkston a few times, he didn't like the fact how close they were because again he can see them potentially being together,
right? And
that was facts, But then again, flipping it on Simone's side, she can see the same thing with Jordan but again, my thing is this: Simone's in Georgia, Jordan's in LA. Jordan has been around, the main cast for so long, so it's like, I mean, what can I do, And Simone, she came into the picture because, well, she was having sex with Jordan,
right?
But it is what it is with that. Then she just later got added to the mix. But again, her going to Brinkston was just really her. I need to really find myself. I'm a teenage mom and I need to have something going for myself so I can set up my son later down the line.
Right.
That's why she chose Brinkston. But going back to 2 episodes before, like I said, the season finale, they broke up, and again, it was just bound to happen. But now going into the Halloween episode, Jordan finally admitted to Layla, like, I have feelings for you. And it kind of left Layla shook because she didn't know what to say. But then going to the season finale, this past Monday at the time, in the beginning, she was more so the fact, like, I'm still trying to, I don't want to screw things up with us being friends. So she wanted to still kind of keep it at that.
Right.
But toward the end of the episode, after Spencer and Jordan won their homecoming game, but I'm gonna lead to that in a second.
I know they were probably pissed, JJ and Asher.
No, not really.
So you guys did all that talking and being mad at each other because you guys are on the opposite teams, just to be like, oh, that's cool.
Nah, they weren't mad.
I'm like, bro.
But yeah. So like going toward the end of the episode, Jordan and Layla, they were back at the beach house, and Layla was, just talking to Jordan, and she got on some ice because he broke his hand because he punched the starting QB. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. So literally in that moment, they kissed.
Boy.
And now it's setting up for them to be together. Now I will say this though too. Once that scene went away, another scene happened where Layla was in the studio talking to her dad, and her dad told her that he's officially retiring from music, and his company is like up for grabs. She assumed that he was going to give her his company and merge it with her company, but little did she know he had already picked who he wanted to run his company, and the person that he chose to pick was a chick that Layla was messing around with, had sex with, but then kicked him to the curb. So now the dude that was into you is now going to be your cobalt. It's now going to be working with you consistently. So that's about to be
how the tables have turned.
Exactly. Now, like I said too, Jordan punched their starting QB because all season. Before I get to that, I'm not gonna lie, man. Olivia, these past 2 seasons, she's been kind of getting annoying. I'm not gonna hold you. She's been kind of getting annoying, man. Because
in my opinion, she was already annoying a long time ago. But you know.
But this is making it worse because now she's going into journalism.
Oh, I mean, shout out. She in the show. She had a podcast. So
yeah,
putting on for the podcasters out here.
Right, but what they have her character doing is straight up stupid because all the stuff that she's doing, that she's journalism about, is about Spencer's team. It's just like how does that work?
Hater. Sorry.
Because now, don't get me wrong. The starting QB character on the show, he is a straight up asshole.
Really? Okay.
He really is an asshole. You know, but it's just like, Layla, Olivia, why are you consistently going at players that Spencer has to see and play with on a consistent basis, right. Let alone Jordan too?
I have to talk to these dudes, and you over here critiquing them and talking shit.
And I feel like Spencer is playing it safe when not really getting upset by trying to say I support you in everything that you do, but it's like I think what he wants her to understand is look at the position you're putting me in consistently. Mm-hmm. I'm around these dudes literally consistently every day. I have to play with them. The QB and me have to be on the same page. If a play is set up for him to throw the ball to me, right. We have to have connection. I can't have that if you're writing an article about him.
Sure. He can throw the ball to the point where I can die.
Literally. And then what does that do for us?
Nothing.
And then so because literally she just kind of been on his ass the entire season, with this with the QB, because she found out he was a big ass bully back in high school, and she came out and said that at one point he bullied someone so bad in high school that they almost committed suicide. I'm like, damn. But going back to the Halloween episode, it came out that the starting QB, his name is Wade, he set them up to get swatted by the cops. Saying that it was a slasher party or some shit like that, and then when they found out there was nothing, then they let him go. But with her mom being a lawyer, she got connects, and they traced the call back to Wade's phone, because all that entire episode, Layla was getting random unknown calls and
I was about
texts.
to say, where did this come from? Where did she just come?
Yeah, like an unknown number kept blowing up her phone the entire Halloween homecoming episode, and when they finally got swatted, she got sent with the devil emoji, and she said, "Oh no, it's Wade," but.
I'm like, dang, did she just be like, I don't like this dude. Let me dig into his file. Mom, bring up the file on this nigga real quick.
Right, but going into the season finale episode, when she already knew it was Wade, Spencer's face was like, look, it's like Spencer it's not like Spencer didn't want to believe her, but it's like, I just made amends with this dude when I thought he didn't make an article about you when he really did, and he's thinking that's the end of it, but nope. Layla already was kind of deep into his background, and she wasn't gonna stop until he was exposed, And then what else happened? Oh, Patience and Coop's relationship. Now, they broke up for a reason this season, because they were both kind of holding on to the past and what they had before. But after Coop got shot, and then Patience's music career kind of started taking off, it's kind of like they both were just going in their different directions that neither one of them wanted to, be okay with. Because Coop, she didn't know what she wanted to do, because she was facing jail time for lying to the cops about, Preach shooting Mo and shit like that. She was doing that, but then
she was down. I thought, wasn't Coop's career going up too?
It was, until she got shot.
Damn. Hold up, that's wild, because in real life, if we look at Kodak, he just got shot and this nigga's on fire.
But she got shot in the chest.
Oh, so she can't really rap no more.
Then her lung capacity is gone, as far as
okay.
breathing.
I'm like, for a second, in real life, look at this nigga Kodak. He got shot, and he's been on Future's album, Kendrick's album, goddamn all the features in the fucking world right now. I'm
Right,
like,
she got shot in the chest, so her lung capacity is pretty much done. She can't, fully get back to the lung capacity.
of course they gotta make it dramatic and take away her ability, but
Right, but besides that though too, now she's working with Olivia's mom in the lawyer world and stuff like that. So she's doing that, but before that too, of course, now that Patience and Coop broke up, now they're single.
She became a Fed, and the Patience became a superstar.
It wasn't even that, but like
I know, I'm just playing.
But yeah, but like now it's just like Coop is trying to just figure everything out because she's interested in this new chick, whose grandmother she was watching over at this nursing program to keep her, for her probation and stuff like that.
Right.
And she was, digging her and stuff like that. But then at the same time too, she brought her to a crib in Beverly Hills, and Coop and Patience, they all living with Olivia and Layla too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was jealousy right there. And then of course Patience, she's again she got her music career going. So she was making like a slight connection to JoJo's character that was on the show. And then of course Coop saw that, got jealous. So both of them were trying to, make sense of them being finally separated again, but now it's more so like a surreal deal. But
yeah,
the Halloween episode, they kind of had like a nice little moment. They had sex, but then in the season finale, Coop came back and said,
it was on fire. I can't do this no more.
No, she didn't say that, but she did say, we need to figure out our own past, and it's like we can't keep doing that if we stay, living in the past.
Right.
Because we can't keep holding on to what we had before when we know now, moving forward is not what we need, I guess. But to set up now the final two characters, Spencer and Olivia. Like, I'm not gonna lie, once they got to college, it's just been straight up toxic and bullshit. Cause like it's 1 minute they arguing, then the next minute they're making up. It's like, okay, can y'all just be consistent with one thing and just stick to that? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I get it, both of them are passionate in what they're doing, what their career feels, but again, when one is kind of interfering with the other, it's kind of hard for that other person to still support you, but yet at the same time, you're fucking up my career in a way.
Right.
Because Spencer's character on the show, he's not the biggest social media guy, but again, they brought in the NIL rule. And so now he's kind of adjusting to that. But on Layla's end, she at first wasn't digging it because she's like, this ain't you. Like, you don't like being in the media like that. But it's like, how else is he supposed to get his name out there if he's not on the field playing at the time? And, he's adjusting to that. He's just going with the flow. And like I said, Olivia being a journalist, it's like, I get it. You got to do what you got to do, but you're doing it to my team.
Right.
Because also, too, now she's going after their head coach. Because he got some skeleton in his closet because...
So is she like a reporter, like getting into her journalism back? Is she being like a PI almost? Like,
I don't know.
Is that the angle she's trying to go?
I don't know. We'll find out in the next season because how they left it off is more so the fact, like, she told Spencer straight up, like, don't get mad at me, but I'm coming after your coach next because I found out that he got some skeletons. Now, it will be a trip when she probably tells Spencer who her source is, or if he asks her who her source is, and if she says Wade, the same nigga that she just got kicked off the team, the same nigga that Jordan broke his hand by punching him in the face for calling her a bitch, is the same dude who is willingly to let you know everything about the head coach at their college.
That's wild.
And that's the same coach that literally wrapped up Jordan and Spencer in his arms after they won their homecoming game. The same coach. So yeah, they left it off like that as far as like, where do Jordan and Olivia go from here once she dropped that bombshell news?
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of skeletons, I just wanted to jump back because to Young Thug and Gunna, who knows what skeletons they got right now? It's just,
Rico.
It's just that Rico case, and it just sucks that they denied Gunna on his bond.
And too.
Well, I was about to say Thug was about to get his decision today, I believe, at the time of this recording. But I'm not sure on that. But I'm pretty sure he got denied too.
I'm pretty sure too. Because again, we're talking Rico. They built this case up for years.
So they won't see. They're going to see the jury and the judge not until next year, January 3rd. So he's going to miss time with family during Christmas, New Year's,
Thanksgiving, all that.
Yeah, he's gonna miss all that. So he's gonna be away for a little bit, and it's just crazy. But it's like also, how do we really feel if it's really true that these niggas were out here? Granted, I mean, in my head, I kind of feel like they probably were doing some shit. But you know how it is. It's like you're already in the street life. You're a rapper, and you're actually living your raps, and then you finally make it, you get put on, and then it doesn't seem like you're doing those things anymore. But you
have affiliates that are low key can do your dirty work now too.
Right, but you get so big now, and you're getting all this money, and then the feds just be like, you know what?
Let me tap into what you're really doing.
You looking. I got you now. You getting too big. I'm about to get you. Come on. Let me talk to you real quick.
Let me humble you real quick.
Yeah. So it's just like, damn, bro. It's like Gunna was officially about to take off. He was about to enter his stardom. He got his Drake feature because we all know once you get a Drake feature,
you made it.
It's over with now. But yeah, he got his Drake feature. He was moving on to bigger and better things, #1 album and all that stuff. Then you got Thug. He was already had his ascension and he was already touching his pinnacle. So just getting those two at the same time, it's hard, man.
It's like, damn.
I don't get it, but I just hope they don't get put away for a long time. If that does become the case, maybe they have great lawyers to the point where they can get some.
They do.
I pray they do. I really hope they do. Because, we definitely need them in the presence.
Because you already know if they beat this Rico case, you already know an album is coming, and that is going to skyrocket to the top of the charts.
They got 2 albums on deck right now if they get out.
And probably one of them going to be a collab album.
Probably.
I'm just saying.
But prayers, best wishes to all of them. Hope they figure this out and be able to come home safely and shortly.
Right, and kind of wrap it up on All-American Homecoming. So, All-American Homecoming. Now, I'm not gonna lie though, this season was a great season, but I'm not gonna lie to like some of these character storylines was confusing as hell. But just kind of wrapped this up in a nutshell. So, pretty much in the last episode the previous episode of All-American Homecoming for the season finale, Brinkson was in a potential way of getting sold or merged with a PWI. And on the side note too, I don't get that. Like, HBCUs were meant for black people for a reason, for people like us to just be around us.
Yeah.
It's just like, how is it that I guess when the money isn't what it needs to be, you feel like merging with the predominantly white school can save it, but you do realize once you do that, you're taking away the culture that was built around these HBCUs.
It's not even an HBCU anymore.
It's just another college.
Yeah. With
more space.
Basically.
Like, I don't get that.
But those are the things that you gotta in the real world you gotta realize. It's like, who's paying these bills? Can we afford these amenities and all that stuff? You got to take account of all those things. So.
Right. But
it's still never a good look to just go and be like, oh, I'm about to merge with such and such because we're down.
Right. But on the show it got canceled, but at the same time too, Brinkson was in the midst of getting shut down. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was going on. So the cast, they're trying to get raise awareness and money to save the school, X, Y, and Z. Now, like I said, going into Simone's character, with her character, these past episodes, she was really out here trying to grind for the tennis team and
grind for the tennis team.
Yes, and like I said, in the previous episode before the season finale, she didn't make the top 6. Realistically,
she needed King Richard on her side.
Right, but in all actuality, like, her tennis career is on hold until I guess she can play next tennis season or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Now her counterpart on her team, Thea, she made the cut, but at the same time too, in the previous episode before this season finale, one of, I guess, like a rival that she doesn't like or doesn't like her, she pretty much destroyed her tennis racket. And I didn't know this is actual fact, but like tennis players, they, have certain rackets, I guess, depending on, like, going to their play style.
Yeah, probably.
So when Thea's rackets got messed up, she was about to forfeit the game. And Simone said, no, you're not about to do that, because if you do that, you're letting your opponent win. So here's my racket. Go practice with it and win. And Thea won her match, but then she came back and told Simone that, yeah, this shit too heavy. Like, I don't know how you can play with this thing.
I'm weird.
And so going into the season finale, Thea, she pretty much tore her rotator cuff.
How? Playing with the racket?
Yeah, playing with the racket, because I guess, again, it was heavier than her racket, and she's not used to a heavy racket, I guess.
Oh man, that's
So,
crazy. You
no,
tear the rotator cuff off the racket.
Right. But keep that in, but hold that thought though. Hold that thought. I'm gonna get to the last scene in a second. So that happened, and Damon's character on the show. His character is just like, it's like they trying to make him like a Spencer James, but it's like he's not, because his situation is so weird. So literally, we all know his character came to Branson to raise awareness on college players and sports and stuff like that. And so in the midst of him doing that, he's quote unquote adopted on the show, and he said Branson is where his birth parents went, and they're low-key Branson celebs there. Mm-hmm. So the entire season, he's not trying to find his birth parents, but it's like he has that in the back of his head. And at the same time, too, he has this homeboy named JR who he's been knowing since they played baseball together in like the circuit region and stuff like that. And it's just, you could see the build up to them finding out that they were brothers. But the crazy thing is this affair. This makes Spencer's mom and Jordan and Olivia's dad affair look like shit.
Like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, because it turns out that, like I said, JR and Damon's characters are brothers on the show, and JR's birth mom is Damon's actual mom. But she had an affair with Damon's dad, who has Alzheimer's. And this was before he had Alzheimer's, but they had an affair, and I guess that's how Damon was born. Mm-hmm. But more news came out with JR's dad. So apparently JR was real sick as a kid, and I guess his dad chose to take care of JR and, give up Damon as a kid. So in retrospect, it's more so the fact, like, you gave up your own son to take care of your other son, I guess. But then in the season finale, it came out that actually JR's dad is actually Damon's biological father. Because there was an episode on Homecoming, I think it was an alumni episode, and JR was watching, his dad pitch, because his dad used to play baseball. And, Damon, he's a pitcher on the show. And JR's character was looking at like, wait a minute, y'all okay got the same wind-up and stands and everything. What's going on here?
Father like son.
Like father like son, exactly. And that's why he was low-key like, looking into like, can we be brothers? Because why is he having my dad's stance? Like, it's very identical, and then that was just a shit show right there. And then on top of that too, going to the last scene of the episode, like I said too, Thea tore her rotator cuff by using Simone's racket. Now, this is where shit goes left for Thea, because she honestly should have done this shit. So she pretty much loses her spot to play in the tournament in the top 6. But the funny thing is, Simone, she now has her spot because the tennis coach said, hey, look, Thea, she can't play. Do you want her spot? Because in the midst of all of that, Simone's mom called her up and said, hey, look, I know you can't play tennis no more, but going to Angela, a few of their players are ineligible and are not playable because due to grades or whatever.
Ineligible.
Yeah. So it ain't nothing but a phone call away for you to be like, hey, y'all got a spot?
Bring.
I'm there. So she was in the midst of transferring until she got the call from her tennis coach at Princeton to be like, hey, come see me right now. I need to talk to you. She's like, all right, bet. And then that was the news of her. And she got the news that, hey, look, Thea can't play. Do you want her spot? And she took it. Mm-hmm. And, it's sad because that's your friend, that's your teammate, but it's like, hey, there's opportunity for me to play. I'm gonna take it.
Right, I'm gonna take my opportunity and do my best to show why I deserve it.
Exactly. Now on Thea's end,
Damn.
this chick literally just let out everything she been wanted to say to Simone. She pretty much said like, so you planned this, like you pretended to be my friend, and you
Tore my rotator cuff.
and you let me and you let me use your racket when I wanted to forfeit, and now I have a torn rotator cuff, and now I can play in this tournament, and now you finally have my spot that you've been wanting since last homecoming.
Jealous.
And Simone, she looking at her like, bitch, what the fuck you talking about? Like,
Oh, really?
I wasn't gunning for you. I legit was trying to be your friend, because if you watch the show, you're going to see how socially awkward Thea is. Like, she never had a social life. It's all tennis, 24/7, no social life whatsoever.
No interaction with another human being.
Exactly. It's just straight tennis. That's her other interaction. Straight tennis. And Simone was trying to get her out of that to be like, look, you can still be you can still have your passion for tennis, but it's like you need to have a social life too.
Right.
That's all she was doing as a friend. But Thea wasn't going for that. And again, too, Thea is now dating Damien, who low-key is going to be set up to date Simone down the line, which is obvious, but I like what they're doing. They're building it up for the actual, relationship. But then Thea low-key said, like, you took my spot, but I have the guy that you want. And then Simone, like, just try to, like, let it, breeze by her, because she knows she's in pain and she's heard that she can't play, but it was already too far gone. And then Dia ended was saying, like, look here, you conniving bitch. I'm coming from my spot once I get healthy. But then Simone low-key just hit the nail on the coffin and said, all right,
But
get healthy. You know where to find me?
hey, she said, I want all the smoke. When
It
you come back, no.
literally, she wants all the smoke. But yeah, so that was a wrap on All-American and All-American Homecoming. So I can't wait for the second season of All-American Homecoming to come out, and for season 5 or 6 for All-American. And I believe it's season 6. I want to say, I just can't remember what season it is. But
Gotcha. Hey, man.
like I said, we had a lot to talk about.
Do we got anything on top?
No, that's about it.
I think we'll save that SYM talk for another day.
Yeah, we'll save it for another episode.
Again, I want to also say prayers and best wishes to everybody out in Buffalo.
Out of Buffalo, and now out of Texas.
Yep.
There's another shooting at an elementary school. So prayers to all the 13 kids that were wounded, and also prayers to the kids' families that ultimately lost their lives in that shooting too. So prayers up to them.
Facts. Sleepers.
Oh, well, of course, I've got to do the outro first.
Oh yeah, that is correct. Yeah, guys, we done. Basically, like, comment, share, subscribe.
All that good shit.
All that good shit. Speak Your Mind 2.0. What am I about to say? Apple Music, Spotify, Anchor, SoundCloud, YouTube, and more YouTube. We will be back. It's your boy Seth.
It's your boy TY, and we gone.
Speaking your mind, that's what I be talking about. I'm speaking my mind, my.